I'm back, and today I'm going to do a reading that I don't think I've done before, which I'll call a Q&A reading, and it's a reading about a very specific question about something that's in the news. I've done the news reading before, where I wanted to find out more about something that was on the news but we didn't know anything about. Basically the background of something that's on the news. But now I'm going to do a reading on a question. Even though I don't care about these questions too much or think about them, I noticed that many viewers do. So I thought it would be interesting to see what the answers are, just as a trial. And these videos will probably be shorter because they will be not as in-depth, okay? Because of course, many of these questions are yes and no questions, and of course, it would be easier just to do a yes or no reading, but that's not really the point, right? We want to put this story together. So it's possible that these readings actually bring light into other issues. They give the answer, but also explain other lateral elements, okay? So I'm going to get started, and the question was, will Trump be able to pardon anyone involved in the Mueller investigation? Okay, all right. And again, the person asked me this question, and I thought, you know what? I thought, oh, this is a very secondary question. I don't want to do this. But I thought, you know what? It's actually pretty interesting to do these shorter readings because there might be something there, okay? Even though I've focused on mostly one person, it's helpful to do these videos. Okay, so I'm going to get started. All right. So back to the question of whether Trump will be able to pardon anybody involved in the investigation. I'll just get started with the reading itself. 10 cards. This is the first column in the center. Okay. So this is work upside down. If you see this card upright, you see that it's a person working, usually on one project, very focused, doing a great job, very focused, but it's upside down. So that means the wrong kind of work or some lack of focus. Okay. And alongside this, we have clouds, which in a traditional way, in Lenormand, it means problems. But I love looking at clouds very literally as clouds. So there's something obscuring these wrong works or this lack of focus. And the moon upright and the dog. It's funny, we saw yesterday dog for Obama, which was very positive. Now it comes as something else, as a loyalist. Okay? So it's interesting that also yesterday this came up. Oh, you know, it's so funny that this came together. Yes, it was the same. How interesting. You know, it's interesting because sometimes, I've said this before, sometimes I think, oh my God, did I shuffle everything correctly? Did I spend a lot of time asking the question and shuffling at the same time? But then these two, the odds of these coming together, the large tarot cards and the small Lenormand being the same card that appeared yesterday is so interesting, right? It's very strange because it's in a very different context, and I do not think this is Obama at all. I just think this is a person who's loyal to Trump. Okay, so here in this case, I think the moon also in a way means in the middle of the night. It also means in a way the cloud and the moon are related because both are sort of in a way they obscure the full picture. And this one has, like I said before, it has something to do with creativity, with dreams. But I think, honestly, the image that comes to my mind is the thief coming at night, in the middle of the night, right? For some reason, I am getting this because I cannot, for the life of me, associate anybody in this administration with being creative or being sort of poetic in any way, okay? So what I think here is that in the middle of the night, these loyal people, and you know the image that came to my mind, it's so funny, the story of Watergate, the break-in the middle of the night. Sort of, this is another image that came. So basically, this one person or several people, loyalists, in the middle of the night, when everything is obscured, they do the wrong works or they help with the wrong works. Okay, so that's the center. That's what's showing. And then at the beginning of the reading, the first column is this, the book and the heart upside down. Okay, so, and then the Hierophant and the house. So it's very also clear and interesting. So secret about the house. And this is a card of heartbreak. Okay. And stress in some ways. And here is trying to get away from this. So as a means of attempting to get away from the stress of the secret. And it's interesting because what do we have here? The Hierophant. So the Hierophant, I've said before, it represents a group of people who are in charge of the norms in a way. Sort of almost like a secret society or a group of people who are powerful in a... You know what this card... It's funny, it's very sort of a hip-hop thing to say, but it's the Illuminati card, I think, right? The idea that there's these shadow people moving the strings or something. That's sort of how it is, I think. It relates to this card, okay? Illuminati, okay? So it's upside down. So to me, that means definitely secret group, but group that's connected with the purpose of getting the wrong things done, okay? Corruption, again, shadiness, Machiavellian plans and so forth. So this seems to describe the reading and the issue very clearly, so that in order to escape the secret, the group that's already involved in shady ideas probably finds this excuse, right, to the pardon thing. So it's saying to me that this group came up with this, or this is one of the things that they do in order to escape the stress of the investigation. And what do we have here? Oh my, I have other things to show. It's pretty interesting. This is the harvest. Harvest, I definitely believe it's money and the foreign power, the goal to harvest money from foreign power. And this is yet another very interesting coincidence, right? That I think happened yesterday in one of the readings I did yesterday. So this is the card of illusion and daydreaming and escapism and the sun. So what this tells me is that their effort to collect the money from the foreign power is going to be exposed, and the illusions are going to be exposed or are exposed. Okay. And if I follow, and I've done this before, let me do this. I thought it worked really well yesterday when I did this, because it confirms, when you put the norms together, it confirmed this really well. So the secret about the foreign power is obscured, okay? And at the bottom, the house, there's some light is brought into the house and the loyalists that are related to the house. Okay, so it's what it shows, because there's a technique for the Lenormand called basically this is the noun, the adjective, and the how. Okay, so I don't think this is necessarily because it's not the White House is bright, but really this is doing something to this. So it's illuminating this through what? Through the loyalist. So it's showing in a way that the loyalists are bringing light about this obscured information that I've just described. Okay, and this is why it's showing that it matters. So it's okay. So then moving on to, let me show you. Yeah, it's very clear here. I'll just show you quickly again the columns: secret in the White House, clarity about the foreign influence, and shady loyalists or loyalists that shield. Okay. And then you have, and it's, I think this is super clear. And now going forward, the last two columns, you have our friend, the con artist. Who could that be? Wow. Oh my God. Whoa. Look at this. Crimes, loss, corruption. No way. So this goes together very well. Okay. So the con artist basically commits crimes. And this is so great. So great. This is the card of, like I said, this is the quid pro quo card in any way. So that's when you get money. Sometimes it means charity. But even when you think of the idea of charity, when you do charity, there's a book, a very famous book on anthropology called The Gift. I forgot the full title, and I actually forgot the full name of the author. But it's a very important book about anthropology, about an aspect of anthropology that describes how in many societies, the idea of gifts is actually debt. That gifts are never really, when you receive a gift, you're supposed to give something back. Gifts are never free. And even when you think about the idea of charity, a lot of people who do quote unquote charity expect to put their name in buildings or use it to create a brand or something like that, right? It's never free. So anyway, so this is, like I said, just an element of this card, of the quid pro quo card. And sometimes like if you don't have a lot of money or need money, it shows that somebody's going to come to help you. Okay, so this is sometimes, it has different contexts. Okay, just wanted to say that. But in this case, this is one of the big cards in these readings, the quid pro quo money card. What do we have here? The anchor. And I'll show you here one second, something else. Just actually, it's right next to me. This is a book. Oh, it's the book, the Lenormand book. Sometimes I keep it next to me because sometimes I look up stuff. And I just looked up the anchor card again because I'm super fascinated by this card, just to make sure that I'm seeing it correctly, because it's very interesting in the context. So it's saying basically the con artist has been doing these crimes. And what does the anchor say here? For a long time. So there's these financial dealings that the con artist has been working on it's basically saying, forget it, dude. If you pardon one person, it's not going to make a whole lot of difference. Okay, so this is the message. The book confirmed that the anchor can be positive in many ways, but sometimes if it's next to a negative card, it amplifies. And it's basically, in terms of a story, it's always for a long time, or habit, or lasting a long time. So here we see that the corruption and the theft has been going on for a long time, caused by the con artist. So there's just a whole lot of quid pro quo that is here, right? So in that case, if we were to even extrapolate just this, we would be able to say, okay, it's saying this person, even if you pardon one person, that's not the problem, right? I mean, that's not the problem. It's not going to solve the issue. It just means that there's one person among the many that are involved. I'm sorry. Hold on. Yes, one person among the many that are involved in this situation is not enough. Okay, so even if you decide to pardon, who knows, 200 people, 5,000 people, I don't know, unless I was going to say, because the image that came to my mind sounds so graphic, but I'm going to go ahead and say, unless you decided to kill people or something like that, the investigation is just uncovering all of these things, and that's what the cards are saying very clearly. Okay, so the last row, and this is also, it's one of those, I had never seen this before, but it's interesting. So I'll put these two together so we have you can look at this. So you could see that this is a card of secrets. In a way, I said before that it can relate to, one second. Sorry. It relates to, it can be the other woman card, something behind the scenes, but it's the tarot way of saying something, a secret. And it also has this meaning that's a little bit different from a traditional secret, which is it says something that you don't already know. There's something that you don't already know that's going to be known. And that's, in a way, it's more fascinating than the idea of the secret that we have here in the book, because it's saying something will be revealed. So in a way, it's a little bit different from just the bare bones secret. It's saying something that has not yet come to light will be key. Okay? So this here we have, I've said this before, I described this before as the family. This is the family card. So upside down, the baby is the president. We know that. So I think here, oh my God. Whoa. I think it's funny. I was thinking about this. I'm like, okay, let me think a little bit deeper about this card. Why is it showing up here? Is it saying that he is a person against, because it showed up before, I think, for Mike Pence or Sessions. And I thought this is the person who turns the family values upside down. It could also be the country. You could say, well, it's the person who turns the country upside down. But there's another meaning, because this is telling us there's something else that has. Okay, this is like crazy. Okay, I'm so sad. So there's something else that hasn't been revealed, right? We've talked about this before. Right here. So what is it? And I'm thinking, no, this is the president because he's always a child. But I'm thinking, okay, this is family values and families, right? So family values are turned upside down and a child. So it could also, this is again a super crazy extrapolation that the secret that's going to be revealed, or the thing that is not yet known, has to do with children and has to do with the wrong kind of family values related to children. And you know what that means, right? I almost feel like dirty just by like even saying something like that. But there's all these scandals, the rumors about those tapes or whatever, something like that. So in a way, it could be, I don't want to say that this is it, because it's there's a broad connotation, and the president has come up as a child before in several instances, an immature person. But because this is telling me that this is a secret, of course, he is the center of these readings. It could also be a secret about children and the wrong kinds of family values related to children. Again, I am making extrapolation. It does not change the meaning of the reading. Okay, because the reading is saying obviously he will not be able to do that. This was just a distraction. There's a strategy of distraction very strongly described in this reading, but it's something to think about. Okay, it's saying there's something related to children or immaturity, and I'll just show you again the patterns that I see here in terms of themes. Okay, in the reading, cards that relate to obscurity. Okay, showing and hiding. Okay, these. Super interesting when you see these. Okay, so let's look at how many. There's 20 cards in this reading. Okay, so 5 of them have related to this. So the High Priestess, something that is yet to be revealed. The Illusion card. The Con Artist, which is the magician, the person who has the power but uses it in the wrong direction, right? The Cloud, that obscures and creates problems. And the Moon, something hidden, something happening at night. So what I see, if 25% of the cards in the reading tell me something about showing and hiding, then I think it's safe to assume that this strategy of the pardons is just a strategy to create a distraction. Okay, create illusion and distraction. And that the core thing here, the message that it gave me, and I have to remember that the key is a message from the reading itself. Whereas if the heart is the core of the person, the key is the core to the reading. And it's telling me there's stuff that's going to come out about him or about children and the reverted family values. Okay, and it's saying that even though, again, there are several cards as usual related to money here. Okay, show you again, just so you know. Collecting money, working towards the wrong things, and dealings, quid pro quo dealings. Okay, so if you look at things in this perspective, it's also saying that the illusion, which is the strongest theme right in this reading. So the illusion is heavily used as a means to cover up all kinds of financial dealings, and cards related to crime, or you have the mice, and you have some secret, and you have, okay, this, you could even say that this, so there's a lot. So in a way, it has to do with all the illusions are there to obscure financial activity that is somehow illegal or shady. Okay, but that ultimately, like I said, the strongest row, it was the last because it has the key. It's telling us, don't worry, stuff's gonna come out about him or his relationship to children and the wrong kinds of family values that's gonna nail him. Okay, because the information was all clear. Okay, so that was the reading, and it's very interesting. This was, like I said, this was the first time I did a reading with a question like that, because it's a question that I personally didn't think that he would be able to issue these pardons. I didn't think about it very much, but it gives us, like I said before, the opportunity to look at the entire situation and to learn more about the situation and to almost get a message right from the cards. They feel like they're talking to us, and they're saying there's a lot more there that has to come out, and it hasn't come out, and that will end this whole situation for good. Okay, so that answers the question. Thanks for watching. Bye.